go. And as you can see here, the actual key that's in, it's D sharp, and it's a D sharp Hirajoshi scale. So again, just to kind of clarify that, again, we go through Hirajoshi scales and what they actually are on the Music Theory Mastery course. But you've also got it here on the scale plugin as a preset. So what a Hirajoshi scale is, it's a Japanese 6-tone scale. And a lot of the, as you can hear, a lot, even if that's just an upwards cycling arpeggio that goes up through the steps, it's still following the steps of a Hirajoshi scale, which again we can set to D sharp here. And you can hear it still has a little bit of a change in matters. Again, on certain steps you get that kind of downward trajectory, so it's like up 4, jump 1, down 1, up 3. You've got that little bit of a pattern going as well. And again, we're going to go through that in Music Theory Mastery as well, about, you know, how you can manually write these things, which is really interesting. You can actually set yourself up with a pretty interesting technique, which we'll go through. So again, this is a bit more of like a moogie sound. Again, you've got the triple VCO, you've got the, you know, the mixer that comes with that, at the expense of that central panel where we've been using the high pass filters beforehand. Cascade filter, again, because I wanted something a little bit more accurate, but again, the envelopes here are on that kind of moogie, slightly more sloppy kind of side of things. And again, longer attacks here. So what you can appreciate there is that there's actually a high, there's a high level of that kind of moogie sound. And again, a lot of it comes down to the noise as well. You know, we're using white noise here. There's a bit of feedback put into this on the oscillator section. And again, we've got some interesting tunings going on here where effectively oscillator 3 is 2 octaves further up. 1 and 2 still reinforcing each other. All completely in terms of sawtooth waves, completely fine. And again, here, this is one of the things I love about the Cascade filter moving back, is the fact that it's a 12 dB switchable filter. But the 12 dB is really bright on this. So again, if we compare, I really like the clean mode on it because, again, it's just got that little bit of top end that I'm after. The rough kind of does rough up, as it says, shall we say, on the tin. It does rough up those kind of higher harmonics. Again, a little bit of LFO2 now, actually a very small amount, just on the cutoff, just to kind of keep it moving over a longer time period. And again, it's using a triangle waveform, not a huge amount going on there. And when I made this sound, I actually had the sustain all the way down initially, and I just felt like it didn't really need it. It needed something a bit more, had a bit more length to it. So again, the sustain isn't doing a huge amount here, but it is just helping the sound maintain and sound really solid. And again, you could get the same thing with the slightly longer decay. Again, you can hear the sustain over at like sort of 2-3 o'clock is a little bit too much, right? Back at around about sort of 10, 9:30, something like that, you're in the right ballpark. And again, you can see the attacks quite rounded. You see, that's also one of the great tricks, especially with arpeggios, is actually if you get accurate around the attack time there, you can actually make your ARP sound like they're going backwards, even though they're not. They're just longer attacks than they are decays. So pretty interesting, right? So again, little power trick there for you. Plate reverb. And again, this is another one that I like to pull the plate all the way down. I have to say that the plate reverbs on both effect sections on Diva are very underrated, and you can do some really, really interesting stuff with it, as you've just heard there. Having both of those set to macro controls in an Ableton rack maybe would be quite cool. Having them set as 2 separate controllers on your MIDI controller can be quite wicked as well. You know, there's a number of different things that you could do. So, you know, the world's your oyster where that's concerned. And again, just not to belabor the point, but I want you to have really simple presets that in your own time, you might be following along with this now. You can follow how these are made. They're not incredibly complicated. That's one of the most beautiful things about Diva, is that it's really not the most complicated synth in the world, but it can sound very, very high level and absolutely phenomenal with very little sound design experience and with just knowing how to trigger the sounds, which is super cool. So again, simple, functional, usable sounds that don't go too crazy. That's what